Hello everyone, and welcome to my Law and Our American TV Show official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that we've got some comings and goings news to share. So let's start with the predicament the show's experiencing. Now that Heather Stevens is died, everyone is wondering how Y&R will handle things involving her father, Paul Williams. Daniel Romalotti Jr. persuaded Paul to come back to Genoa City and be there for Lucy Romalotti. Although fans didn't hear the other side of that phone conversation, it was evident that Paul agreed to return from Portugal. That led some fans expecting Doug Davidson may reprise his part, but he's been vocal about washing his hands of the show in recent years. Davidson stated that he will not be making a comeback after a fan asked him about it on X, formerly known as Twitter. First off, I haven't been asked, but my answer would probably be the same as the last time I was asked. It's all pretty much in my rear-view mirror, Davidson insisted. With that in mind, it's feasible Paul might be recast. Then they might just have Paul spend some time with Lucy off-screen before heading back to Portugal. It'd be easy for Daniel to suggest it was just too painful for mourning Paul to stick around for Heather's funeral. Whatever the case, Heather was Paul's cherished daughter, so there'll need to be some type of reason for his absence if he's not around. In other news, Amy Lewis recently messaged Nate Hastings about an urgent family problem, so he'll be home with updates on some surprising news shortly. There's a fair likelihood this includes a half-brother Nate never knew about, so that may lay the setup for a new character introduction. Amy Lewis will also return to The Young and the Restless starting October 29. However, she'll be played by Valerie Pettiford instead of Stephanie E. Williams this time around. Some more comebacks are in the works as well, because we know Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, has new scenes coming, and Brittany Sarpy will be returning her role as Elena Dawson. That's all the comings and goings news to report for now, but we'll keep you posted on any more pop-ups and hot plot predictions. The Young and the Restless spoilers state that Nick Newman will continue to watch over Sharon Newman, especially since he has a feeling that something still isn't right. Sharon is putting on quite a show with her loved ones and trying to make them believe she's actually back on track. However, Sharon plainly isn't okay as she's still visiting Cameron Kirsten and listening to his insane advice. Nick knows Sharon better than just about anyone, so he's been raising an eyebrow about her conduct lately. Y&R fans have noticed Nick gazing at Sharon with apprehension, so the wheels are turning and could ultimately lead him to an unfortunate conclusion. Of course, Nick doesn't want to believe Sharon could do anything like wipe Heather off the map and dispose of her body. We'll undoubtedly see Nick work to convince himself there has to be another explanation, even when the clues start stacking up. Sharon is on the point of putting Daniel up to take the fall, but Nick may struggle to believe his guilt. The same applies for Chance Chancellor, who may find the evidence a little too convenient. Once Nick obtains further updates on the case, he may initiate an inquiry of his own. Nick might play detective to see what he can find out about Sharon and what she really did when she pulled her vanishing act. Sharon resurfaced the final night Heather was alive, so Nick may find it rather worrisome. We might see Nick try to unearth Sharon's trail and show what he doesn't really want to prove. At some point, Nick might even confront Sharon with his suspicions and flat out ask her if she's responsible for Heather's demise. There may come a time when Nick can't deny what's right in front of him, so he may urge Sharon to confess and get the help she needs. If Nick scores enough proof to back up his assumption, may Sharon break down in tears and disclose everything. If anyone can pry the truth out of Sharon, it may be Nick. As much as he would hate it, Nick may be the one to turn Sharon in following this heartbreaking discovery. He has no choice but to call the cops and hand Sharon over to them. The Young and the Restless spoilers claim Nick might land in a difficult position as this plot continues along, so we'll bring you more startling Sharon news and predictions on all the ramifications. Next week, on Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman pulls the bloody rags from the night she killed Heather Stevens out of her car. She sneaks back into Daniel Romalotti's apartment and stashes the rags in his liquor cabinet. No doubt, this is the Cameron Kirsten portion of her brain, encouraging her to exact revenge on Daniel and cover her tracks at the same time by setting him up for Heather's murder. Indeed, framing someone else is the only way to keep the attention off her. Meanwhile, on Young and the Restless, former cop, Chance Chancellor, is helping with the case. Next week, he finds into something that prompts him to question a new person of interest. Indeed, that may likely be Sharon. While Sharon Newman is framing Daniel Romalotti, the Heather Stevens inquiry takes a turn. Chance Chancellor is almost confident he wants to return to the police service. So, he asks his old buddies at the GCPD to let him aid with the investigation. Next week, Chance drops by Daniel's to give him and Lucy Romalotti an update. He tells them that something startling came up when he tried to track the whereabouts of Heather's phone. Then, on Young and the Restless, Lucy asks what happens now. Chance says there is one more person to question. There's a good likelihood it's Sharon. She's the last person that had Heather's phone at her place, and she texted Daniel pretending to be Heather. So, that may be her downfall. Meanwhile, in Y&R, Diane Jenkins and her husband, Jack Abbott, are bickering again. They have another public argument at the Genoa City Athletic Club. Diane is outraged on Young and the Restless. She tells Jack she doesn't think he ever truly committed to the concept that she has changed. She thinks he still feels that she is still the same manipulative person she used to be. Then, on Young and the Restless, Lucy asks what happens now. Chance says there is one more person to question. There's a good likelihood it's Sharon. She's the last person that had Heather's phone at her place, and she texted Daniel pretending to be Heather. So, that may be her downfall. Meanwhile, in Y&R, Diane Jenkins and her husband, Jack Abbott, are bickering again. They have another public argument at the Genoa City Athletic Club. Diane is outraged on Young and the Restless. She tells Jack she doesn't think he ever truly committed to the concept that she has changed. She thinks he still feels that she is still the same manipulative person she used to be. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time.